It helps to have a friend right this moment. There we go.
Did you just say we're friends?
What's up guys, it is Eric with Verus Engineering, and today we are doing an install on a new product. We have a rear diffuser for the Hyundai Veloster. Tom's helping me out with the install. Overall the install is pretty simple. Now what you'll see from this product is the product does reduce drag, so it'll help your fuel economy on the street. It'll also help your top speed on track, and it actually produces downforce as well by basically allowing the airflow underneath the car to fill in that wake region of your hatchback. So the product reduces lift and reduces drag. All right guys, so this is, and we apologize for the floor, it's still winter here in Indiana. We have a diffuser set out. So we have the main plane, we have the rear bracket, we have the left and the right bracket, those attached to the frame rails directly. And then we have a little strengthening brace up top or up front, which basically goes over the exhaust to keep everything nice and tight up front. To begin, we're basically going to, where's my finger? Here we go. This is where the rear bracket's gonna install, and we'll get close-ups here in a second. And then the side brackets end up going on the frame rails themselves, and that front bracket will go over the exhaust right there. So we'll basically get some close-ups here of us installing the brackets. You may notice that we will have to potentially tap, and they are M10 by 1.25, the bolts up there. But otherwise, the install is gonna be pretty quick and simple. So this is the side bracket. These are the two holes right there. There's another one right there. Those are the holes that you may have to chase. It's up to you guys. You can either ram the bolt in or chase them. Obviously the safer route is to probably chase the bolts. They are M10 by 1.25. So if you use a tap, M10 by 1.25. We're gonna do that right now. So after chasing the holes and tightening the M10 by 1.25 bolts, we have the side brackets installed. The other one is installed over there, just can't see it. The brackets, although it's probably hard to see right now, I'm gonna break the light again.
Flashlight again, dude?
They are, if you can see up there, they are slotted. And we generally recommend, if at all possible, to run the diffuser all the way up. So push the bracket all the way up and then tighten the bolts. If we have to, the good news is you can just loosen those M10s and we'll be able to drop the entire diffuser down. But for right this moment, we're gonna run it all the way up and we're gonna move on to the rear bracket. You can follow me this way. That's where the rear bracket's gonna install. So we'll get to that real quick. Looks like it's a 10 millimeter nut. We're going to remove that 10 millimeter nut, and then we are going to install our bracket and reuse the OEM nut there. At this point, the rear bracket is loosely installed. We're going to do our best to make the I don't know what you want to call this, the vertical part of the bracket parallel to the bumper. And that is because basically one bolt, the bracket can swivel. We do have slots on the rear diffuser, but you won't be able to move this once we tighten this down. So make this part parallel to this, and that's where we're gonna go with the rear bracket, and then tighten that down to about 6 foot-pounds as far as tightening torque. We have the brackets installed, so once again, side brackets, rear bracket, those are installed. It helps to have a friend right this moment. There we go. We got a friend over here. Diffuser goes on. We'll basically hold it up, and we're gonna use M6 by 16 millimeter long button head cap screws with a fender washer on the bottom side and then a serrated nut on top. We'll loosely install those. We'll get all of those bolts and nuts installed, and then we'll start tightening them down. The very final part of the install, we'll swap the camera around and you'll see we're actually gonna install a little brace on top of the exhaust, which basically ties the left and the right side of the diffuser together to keep everything strong when you're on the road and track. So we got the side bolts in right here, 1, 2, and Tom's covering it up. The other 3, 4, go over here and show you. 3, 4, again, button head, washer, and then the nut is on the top side. Here's the strengthening rib. It goes around the diffuser, or not the diffuser, the exhaust. That ties the left and the right side together. Then we're gonna have to drop it down to get our hands on the top side of the diffuser to get to that one real quick. So we'll do that here in a second. All right, so Tom is finally tightening up all the bolts. As far as tightening torque, we generally recommend 6 foot-pounds for M6 fastener. So I would do that. As far as the level of the rear diffuser, which is important, we always recommend measuring from the bottom of the strake. Fore and aft, it should be level, so, with the bottom of the car. So you can take something like the pinch weld, grab a level from there. It is on our lift level, so that's level. And as long as the strake is level, which that is level, the diffuser is properly installed. If it's not, you can then space down the rear, space up the front. It really depends on whatever you want to do in that situation. But at the end of the day, you want the bottom of the strake to be level, and ours is, so we're happy.